Welcome to Judo for the World, and to Baku, Azerbaijan. The city has invested heavily in sports infrastructure, building a number of new stadiums for the European Games last year. A regular stop on the World Judo Tour, this year the Heydar Aliyev Baku Grand Slam would be staged in one of those new stadiums. And after a marvellous opening ceremony, the Grand Slam was ready to begin. With qualification for the Olympic Games so critical, the outcome of Baku in terms of ranking points and preparation could not be overstated. And amongst those in action were world champion Nagase and hopeful under 100 kilo Olympian Gviniashvili. This year will see Brazil's judo-crazy public witness their first Olympic Games on home soil. So, Judo for the World took time to delve deeper into the role of the sport in social development for some of the country's most underprivileged areas. And as always, we'll bring you all the best moments from this action-packed Grand Slam. We start at under 81 kilograms, where Japan's Nagase Takanori was in action. The red back patch of a reigning world champion will add extra pressure to his shoulders, as his home nation will be expectant for gold in Rio. With the performance of the national judo squad so poor at the last Olympics in London, Japan's flag bearers in Rio have the added responsibility of gaining vindication, and with his selection now announced, Nagase would be using Baku as an important warm-up event. He looked good in his early rounds, eventually finishing off Azerbaijan's Rasulu on the ground with a pin. He then produced a simply beautiful Uchimata against Portugal's Carlos Luz, a technique so clean it looked completely effortless. But Nagase's day was about to get more complicated. His next contest saw him up against the junior world champion, Frank de Witt. With the Dutchman starting to make waves in senior judo, he looked set to take his biggest scalp yet when he went to Wazari up against Nagase. It wasn't until the dying seconds of the contest that Nagase pounced to level the fight, eventually scraping through on a penalty point in golden score. Bulgaria's rising star Ivanov would be Nagase's opponent in the final. Your commentator is former world champion Neil Adams.
Ivanov, the up-and-coming judoka of the category. Oh my goodness me! Nagase just took him out with the biggest kosoto. Just have a look how he gets the hands and the feet working together. Straight onto the back there, koso tagaki, and Ivanov lands on the points of his shoulders. That was brilliant. Nagase has got to be, for me, one of the favourites for the Olympic gold medal in Rio de Janeiro. There's a lot of pressure on the Japanese team. They didn't win a gold medal in the men's category at the last Olympics, but I think Nagase is certainly going to be one of the favourites.
In the lightest male category of under 60 kilograms, Mongolia's former world champion Ganbat Bolbatar took gold after defeating Japanese youngster Nagayama on penalty points in the final. At under 48 kilograms, Spain's Aliyev Figueroa caused an upset by beating the in-form Kazakh Galbadrak en route to gold. Israel's Gilly Cohen came through the pack to top the podium in the under 52 kilogram category. Whilst at under 70 kilograms, there was another gold for Spain, after an impressive performance by Maria Bernabeu was rounded off when she pinned Brazil's Portela in the final. A great result, and 500 ranking points for the Spaniard. Finally, gold medals were taken by Guusje Steenhuis of the Netherlands at under 78 kilograms, and Japan's Yamabe in the over 78 kilogram category. With Brazil hosting its first Olympics this summer, all eyes were on their first female world champion Rafaela Silva in Baku. Unfortunately, she was unable to recreate the form which brought her glory at the World Championships in 2013, losing out to Japan's Yoshida, who would then defeat Great Britain's Nakoda Davis in the final. But win or lose, there is no doubting Silva's status as a heroine in Brazil.
O Rio de Janeiro é uma cidade dividida, aproximadamente 20% da cidade vivendo em uma das favelas.
Falta um pouco a oportunidade, mas se o pessoal virasse um pouco, poderia ver que tinha bastante pedra preciosa dentro da comunidade.
Complexo da Maré é uma comunidade desenvolvida. Claro que existem os problemas sociais como qualquer outra favela aqui no Rio de Janeiro. Há 16 anos, a luta pela paz, ela conseguiu uma fórmula de sucesso em trazer esses alunos para cá e, de alguma forma, a gente acaba prevenindo a questão de violência e crime dentro do Complexo da Maré através do esporte e desenvolvimento pessoal.
Desde quando eu era pequena, meu pai sempre foi alcoólatra. Quando ele chegava em casa, brigava, batia na minha mãe. E eu sempre via as violências dentro de casa. E eu falava, eu tenho que defender minha mãe de algum modo. Depois de um tempo, eu comecei a treinar judô. E entrou um professor que já era antigo já lá dentro, o Bira, e ele sempre conversava muito comigo. As lutas não são pra ficar brigando na rua, tem que ter disciplina. Porque se você não tem disciplina em cima do tatame, você também não vai ter fora. Aí o Bira me deu o abraço que meu pai não me dava. Por isso que eu tenho essa frase, a raiva me levou ao judô, mas só o amor me fez ficar.
O Judo Reação é uma organização social que já existe há 16 anos. A gente tem 6 polos na cidade do Rio de Janeiro. E a ideia é usar o judô, o esporte, como carro-chefe para transformar a vida das pessoas. Para mim, o símbolo máximo do judô é o reação. No judô, a gente derruba, a gente cai, a gente derruba, a gente cai, mas a gente sempre se levanta também. Quantas vezes a gente se levantou? É isso que define o tamanho do sonho conquistado. No Reação a gente tem 3 programas. O Reação Escola de Judô e Artes Marciais, tem o programa de educação e a gente tem o programa olímpico, que forma atletas de alto nível. Formou a Rafaela Silva, primeira campeã mundial de judô brasileiro, e é o projeto pra gente que dá autoestima pro Reação como um todo.
Eu nasci na Cidade de Deus. Eu comecei o judô porque dentro da comunidade as crianças viviam vendendo armas ou então ficava na esquina para avisar os bandidos quando a polícia entrava, e meu pai não queria um futuro desse para mim, então eles procuraram alguma atividade para tirar a gente da rua. Meu professor Geraldo, ele queria transformar essa agressividade toda que eu tinha da comunidade para o esporte. Poder ajudar outras crianças a se tornarem outras Rafaelas, eu acho que é muito importante para mim, não só por ser uma grande atleta, mas poder ajudar outras pessoas a subirem na vida.
Uma atleta que me inspira bastante é a Rafaela Silva, porque ela veio da favela também. E viu que favelado também pode entrar em cima do tatame, pode entrar numa Olimpíada. Meu sonho pro futuro é fazer a faculdade de Educação Física, no FRJ, comprar uma casa nova para minha mãe também, e continuar sendo professora de judô, porque eu quero dar o mesmo apoio que eles me deram quando eu estava crescendo. Nesses Jogos Olímpicos de 2016, serei a única menina da favela que vai estar carregando a tocha, e estou muito orgulhosa, porque eu não vou estar só representando a galera da Maré, estarei representando a galera de todas as favelas do Rio de Janeiro ou de fora.
Under 66 kg gold was taken by world number 4 Mikhail Aliyev after a sublime counter-attack in the final against Kazakhstan's Azamat Mukhanov scored Ippon to round off a good day's work for the Russian and move him up to world number 1. But for the crowd, it was a bronze medal contest which was the main event, as there was a chance for a home medal, with Taylan Karimov coming out to take on Belgium's Kenneth van Gansbeek. Who would come out on top?
Wow, the crowd really loving this. Karamov has the arm round the back. Van Gansbeek can't stay there. That's why Kosoto and the crowd absolutely in raptures. Karimov wins in golden score. Kosoto, the arm was around the back, he was set for it. Not a strong attack by the Belgian, and he just Kosoto's Van Gansbeek onto his back, and that was brilliant. The crowd were behind him. He rose to the occasion, and when it mattered, he pulled it out the bag. They absolutely loved their judo here, and they were behind him 100%.
The under 73 kilogram category saw the battle for Olympic selection in Uzbekistan come to the fore, as Sharipov took on his compatriot Boboyev in the final.
Well, a real domestic between these two to decide who goes to the Olympics. Oh, pick up attempt there from Sharipov. Gets taken over by Babayev, and Wazari scored. Look at that, tries the Uranagi from the front, but gets taken over. Now Sharipov has to come forwards. Neat and Ippon. And there's the pick up again! Oh, and this time he gets it right. And Babayev couldn't do anything about it. Sharipov tried it the first time, got countered, but the second time he gets the balance right. Look here, readjusts that leg, gets right the way underneath his opponent. Look at the right leg there, and look at the lift he gets from the left leg. Brilliant stuff. He controls the upper part of the body, and there's no other way other than down. This moves him up to number 11 in the world rankings, and that has to qualify him for the Olympic Games.
At under 90 kilograms, Sweden's world number 13 Marcus Nyman continued his impressive return to form as he added the Baku gold to his win in Dusseldorf earlier this year, pinning Serbia's Kukolj in the final. The real action came in one of the bronze medal contests, however, as Russia's Kirill Denisov came up with a spectacular Ippon against Switzerland's Grossklaus. The heaviest male category of over 100 kilograms saw Ukraine's Camo in good form. He has quickly developed into one of the category's most exciting fighters, and in Baku he once again showed off his throwing ability, using a diverse repertoire of techniques to blitz his way through his elimination contests. This dropping shoulder throw seeing him past Brazil's Moura and into the final. There, he was up against Roy Mayer of the Netherlands, in a match that would prove to be an epic. After an arduous contest, the pair found themselves in a deadlock, with the final into golden score. It would take a moment of magic to separate them, and Camo was up to the task. This almost effortless sacrificial technique giving the Ukrainian the win, and moving him up to world number 3. And whilst France's Teddy Riner is still in a league of his own, Camo is vying to be best of the rest. The form fighter in the women's under 63 kilogram category was Great Britain's Alice Schlesinger, with not one of her elimination contests going the distance. After seeing off Watanabe of the Philippines, she then made short work of Turkey's Katapoglu, who also went for the maximum Ippon score. Her semi-final contest saw her going head-to-head with Israel's former world champion Yarden Gerbi, for whom Schlesinger had this clever counter-attack in store for yet another Ippon win. Her opponent in the final was Croatia's Miskovic Hasanbegovic, who had produced some fantastic judo herself throughout the day. But would she be able to stop Schlesinger in the final?
Schlesinger, if she can win this by Ippon, it'll be every match by Ippon all the way through this tournament. Arm round the back, this is where she's most dangerous. Uchimata! Schlesinger gets it. It was Ogoshi to begin with. And the arm round the back controlled it all the way over. Miskovic couldn't do anything about it. She looked very, very confident going in to this tournament. Massive hugs there from both of them. Obviously good friends. But, well, Schlesinger has had a great day. Ippon every match, and that's the way to win it. Arm around the back. That meant that the hips were going to go across. She starts off with the Ogoshi, turns it into the Uchimata, and look at the pull she gets on the sleeve hand, and she directs it over. Brilliant stuff there from Schlesinger, and she ends the day with an Ippon. Ippon all the way for Schlesinger, and it looks good for her for the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Had to make readjustments. That's what she did, and what a time to reach the form of your life just before the Olympic Games. Nice to see, good sportsmanship as well. Good feeling, and well, how happy does Schlesinger look?
I'm very pleased, but I'm more pleased that I could come on the mat and just do my judo and enjoy it. So I think that in the end of the day, that's what's important.
In at 3 in our list of the best Ippons in Baku was this effort in the under 70 kilograms bronze medal contest.
Rodriguez looking for the sleeve. She has control of the sleeve, goes on to the other one! Oh, brilliant. Sodi Surikomi-goshi there from Rodriguez. She had the sleeve pinned first of all, then she went on to the other sleeve. A little bit of movement and straight the way underneath for the Sodi Surikomi-goshi. And Robra right the way over the top. Great control there. She pulls that arm through and she controls the sleeves right the way till the end. Look how she pulls the arm through. She doesn't get a chance to put it down. Great Ippon.
At number 2 is Uzbekistan's Urazboev, who produced this spectacular Sodi Surikomi-goshi in the under 60 kilogram category to level Hong Kong's Yu Kin Ting. But our number 1 Ippon came in the under 100 kilogram category as Japan's Aaron Wolf took on Germany's Karl Richard Frey with a bronze medal on the line.
Aaron Wolf has the arm underneath, mainly because he's short for minus 100 kilograms. He has a different way in, and that's why. Goes in for the Uchimata. It doesn't go upwards, but it goes round, and it's actually the pull on the hand and that guiding hand round the back there that takes him over. Frey didn't stand a chance. Very low, but he gets rotation. Look at the pull on the sleeve there, and look at the control underneath that armpit as he takes it onto his back. A bronze medal for Wolf, and didn't he do it in style?
Let's join Neil in the studio for some analysis of that brilliant Uchimata.
I'm going to demonstrate just the traditional Uchimata off the sleeve and off the lapel, and with going right the way underneath, getting my feet central and my balance central, and finishing it off by taking my leg backwards and pulling on the hand. Now, the difference between Aaron Wolf's of Japan's Uchimata is that he's quite short for a 100 kilo player, so he holds underneath here so that he can get his hips across. But the big difference is that he finishes it off with a really good pulling action with the sleeve. So from this grip here, he still goes underneath his opponent here, and the pulling action is what enables him to get a good finish to the technique.
The past few months have seen the under 100 kilogram category stormed by the young Georgian fighter Olympian Gviniashvili. Having moved up from under 90 kilograms at the start of the year, the 20-year-old judoka has now started to find his feet, taking his first World Tour gold in Samsun last month. A win in Baku would guarantee Gviniashvili a place at the Olympics in Rio, and with his dream firmly in his sights, he went to work. The UAE's Ivan Remerenko was his first victim, before another trademark hip throw helped him defeat former world champion and home favourite Elkan Mammadov. Next up, another powerhouse, former Asian and Moscow Grand Slam champion Javad Mahjoub. But once again, Gviniashvili was equal to the task. World and Olympic medalist Dimitri Peters lay in wait in a mouth-watering quarter-final. The German's prowess on the ground made many think he would be a bridge too far for the young Georgian. But the German's name would be added to Gviniashvili's list of victims, as 2 more hip throws helped him to victory, continuing his march to the final. Another notch for Gviniashvili's belt in his new category. In his semi-final matchup, he saw off Japan's Wolf with another ippon from Uranagi, as he secured a place in his second World Tour final in a row. His opponent there would be Hungary's Sijanic, who was also having a great day, full of explosive ippons. After this spectacular running Kosotogari against Latvia's Borodavko, it was a driving Ashigaruma which saw him past Portugal's Fonseca. He then surprised the world number 2, Prix, with another pressure point Kosotogari attack, once again scoring ippon. Would Sijanic halt Gviniashvili's unrelenting march to Rio?
Sijanic on good form, but so's this man here, Gviniashvili. A win here could qualify him for the Olympic Games, and well, Mr. Marius Visa looking forward to this one. Sijanic has to stop that big arm coming round the back there. Gviniashvili can throw from any angle. Looking for the pickup. Always the pickup. Is it going to be Uranagi? Yes, it is! Massive Uranagi there from Gviniashvili. That qualifies him at the higher weight of minus 100 kilograms. And what a performance. Second World Tour final in a row. And look at the lift he gets there. Sijanic just couldn't stop him. He just goes over onto his back. Look at the control he has. Look at the lift. Look at his head. The body follows the head and he lands on his back for the biggest ippon. He looks for it all the time. The determination on his face there and the commitment, which is the biggest thing and the most important thing. And this man here now would be going for a medal at the higher weight. Brilliant performance from Gviniashvili, and he has qualified for the Olympic Games.
First and foremost, I'm happy for my country, as we now have an athlete qualified for the under 100 category at the Rio Olympics. This is the first thing that I want to say. Secondly, I'm very happy to have become Grand Slam champion. I always give full concentration when I come to the tatami to compete. Of course, there are some big names that I've beaten who are all very strong judoka. But I too come to do my judo and fight till the end. So once again, I'm happy to have the gold medal and to have secured the place at the Olympic Games in the under 100 kilogram category for my country.
So that's it for this Heydar Aliyev Baku Grand Slam, as Azerbaijan witnessed some fantastic ippon judo. With Gviniashvili once again stealing the show. Join us next week from Kazakhstan for the 2016 Almaty Grand Prix.